Well, hey there, good afternoon. Welcome back to my little gardening show. Out here right now just enjoying the tail end of a summer storm. We've had quite a bit of storms. This is going to be probably the rainiest season on record here in Ohio, I would think, as far as summer. I think the month of June, it was like cloudy every day. We've got a lot of rain, but anyway, the storm, there's a break in the storm, the sun's out, it's raining at the same time, so there's probably a rainbow behind me, you know, if I would take a look. But just kind of a great evening. So I want to show you my tomato plants, a couple of them, and just talk about some of the things I'm seeing with them, and kind of go from there. So it's kind of cool. You can see the raindrops coming down against the backdrop of the sun, or the sun coming through it. And there's our rainbow. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Wow, it's a complete arch. Again. So here's our tomato, our sun gold. I think this is sun gold, and it's doing fairly well. Not as vigorous as the ones we grew last year at the other garden, where the soil was really rich and basically it wasn't limited to a container like this, but overall pretty good. But then we look at the black brandywine, and it is doing fairly well. There's lots of little branches here. With lots of tomatoes, but there are a few problems that I noticed, and it just seemed to be happening today. And it's the start of this blossom end rot, which is usually caused by inconsistent watering, you know, or a deficiency of calcium. I don't think it's watering, because we've had so much, you know, rain, and we've got a drip irrigation system, you know, when it hasn't rained, you know, to keep the water consistent. I think it is a little bit of nutrient deficiency. And I say that because, I mean, look at that, you know, all that, you know, you water this stuff, you water these plants, and I mean, there's tons of little micro roots. I mean, this thing has filled the container, but the capacity of this grow mix to hold nutrients is not like the soil back at home, or not like planting in a garden. And the main reason is because this stuff doesn't really have, or it has very little structure to it. You know, it just crumbles. It's really porous. Just, you water it and the water goes straight through, and along with it goes the nutrients. So what that means is that you're going to have to be a little more intentional on fertilizing, you know, and adding, in this case, calcium to the mix, so that it has a chance to put on some fruit without the blemishes. Other than that, you know, the other tomatoes, my cherries, are doing really well. That's a black cherry down there. You know, the peppers are doing well too. I chose smaller fruiting varieties, like a sweet chocolate. It's like a smaller bell pepper. You know, jalapenos, cayenne peppers, any of your hot peppers, your small sweet bells will work. You know, one, because it doesn't take very long for them to produce. And living in a northern climate, you know, I'll be able to get these throughout the summer instead of waiting, you know, starting mid-May to plant this stuff out and then not get anything till like August as far as the big bells, whereas the miniature stuff, you know, you get fairly soon. Same with the tomatoes. You know, we won't see any big ripe ones till probably August. But these cherries, on the other hand, they'll be sooner than that. This is chocolate cherry and it's doing fantastic. You look at the leaves, or you know, no stress in them. Really green. There's no insect damage that I can see on it. And everything's forming. There's no disease in this plant that is affecting it yet. And it's reached the top of its support, you know, so it's at least 4 foot. So, you know, I could let this go another, well, I could just let it go and see what happens, but more than likely I'm either going to have to add another support, or I'm going to have to make a decision at some point and top it, you know, so that the growth is forced into the existing plant and energy is directed to producing fruit instead of, you know, continued growth. Though it's, you know, it's putting out fruiting stems at about every 12 to 8 inches. Peppers, I need to get some supports in here. That one I just need to be done with it. Pull it out. Let's just do that now. See that? Something was just not right about that. Rainbow's still there. Pretty cool. Not a complete arch, but over there where it's raining. Other than that, my worm bin, I've started a second tray on that. I've had the second tray on it for a while, but they hadn't migrated up into it, but now they are. I put some loose leaf tea leaves in there. There's a little worm. So they're starting to get the idea. I've added some calcium, eggshell that I dried out and then mashed up real good. So, you know, this is what a tray would look like. That's, you know, you're just starting. This is what a tray looks like that's done, though I added some eggshells to this little grid because they're not completely finished working this material yet. But there's a lot of worms in there. And I've harvested about half this tray. You know what I did was I waited a long while before to feed them, you know, make sure all this was worked for the most part, and then put a clump of food in the corner, and they migrated all over to the corner, and then I was able to harvest some castings, you know, and tried to get the little eggshells, or not the eggshells, their little pods that they lay that reproduce, that has 4 to 6 worms in them. I tried to put those back in the bin. So anyway, I could be doing more with this. So we'll see what happens here in the next month. you know, what the worms decide to do, and I'll continue to put food in this top tray and try to get more when we come up top. So anyway, that's it for now. I guess until next time, happy gardening. Bye.